guys, today I want to show you how to turn your vegan chocolate mousse or your vegan lime mousse into a beautiful dessert for Mother's Day. We have Mother's Day coming up in a couple of days, but this is great for any spring party, even a birthday party, or just a regular dessert you want in the afternoon. So in an earlier recipe, I made the vegan chocolate mousse. That was avocados, maple syrup, cocoa, and a little bit of water. Delicious, super creamy. Then I made a lime mousse in another video, avocados, lime juice, and maple syrup. So you can see, very simple ingredients. Well, all we need to do to turn this into a beautiful dessert, it's beautiful on its own, but one that we can share with many others, is turn it into a tart. So we can make a big tart, we could make a small tart. So I thought I would show you some different ways that I do it. So right now I have the lime mousse that we made in another video. And I have parchment paper, and I'm going to make a large tart, but you could make one in this is a small springform pan. You could buy a mini tart pan and make a couple of them that way. Sometimes I'll put them in a mini muffin pan. I'll press my crust in here and use the back. This is an ice cream scooper. I'll use the back of it to make the indentations to make little mini tarts. Beautiful, cute, especially for like a tea party or something like that. But for today, I'm going to be using my tart pan here. I love this pan. It has the removable insert to make it really easy for slicing later. And what I do, with the crust we're going to make today, we're going to be using lots of nuts and seeds. They're very high in fat, so we probably won't have a problem with sticking, but just in case, I'll show you what I do to make sure it's not going to stick. So first I tear a piece of parchment paper a little bit bigger than my insert or the bottom of my pie pan or tart pan. Then I trace it. If I didn't take the insert out, then I would trace it here. It would be slightly larger, but that's okay. Next, I have my kitchen scissors. These scissors are only used in the kitchen and they go through the dishwasher. They are not used for any other projects in the house. I want them to be safe to use with all of my kitchen supplies and things. Use them with foods and stuff like that. There we go. Now I'll just set that inside, and I have my parchment lined pan. So let me move these out of our way. So now I need to make my crust. I have my mousse already made, and I want a healthy crust that the whole family can enjoy. I'm going to be using my Cuisinart, but any type of you can finely chop, even do it by hand if you want. You might have some larger chunks. You may want to use smaller seeds or some ground seeds for that. But my general recipe is a half a cup of dates for the entire tart that I soaked. You can see I soaked them in some hot water. I'm going to strain them. Dates are full of fiber. They can spike some people's sugar, so be careful for those of you who are watching your sugar intake. You could actually make the crust without any dates, but you will have to blend it up or chop it up much finer to release some of those oils to get it to stick together. So this is really just going to sweeten it, and it's also going to help me get it to hold all together. Now, for a healthy crust, I want to balance my essential fatty acids. What the heck does that mean? So we have different fats that are healthful for our body. Omega-3s are wonderful. So before we started eating processed foods and different things like that, we usually got about a 1-to-1 ratio of omega-3s to omega-6s. Omega-6s are in our oils, in our processed foods. They can even be in things like canola oils and stuff like that. Omega-3s are in the fish oil. You hear people saying you need to eat fish, healthy fishes. but it's also in flaxseed, hemp seed. A lot of nuts and seeds have both omega-3s and omega-6s, but today I'm going to try to get more omega-3s because most Americans are not getting enough omega-3s into their diet. I am going to incorporate some other nuts and seeds that are not as high in omega-3s, but my general rule is 2 cups of nuts and seeds, any nuts and seeds, and a half a cup of soaked dates. So I'm going to be using mostly walnuts. Here's my measuring cup. So I'm going to put in a cup of walnuts, and then I have some other nuts and seeds that I'll talk about as well. So I love walnuts, they're really good for you. Chia seeds, very high in omega-3s, but also omega-6s. Flax seeds, very high in omega-3s. And so flax seeds, I did not bring some whole ones out here, but flax seeds are a really hard, small seed that are very difficult for us to chew and break down. So if we don't grind them, these I went ahead and ground. I use a coffee grinder that I only use for nuts and seeds, and I went ahead and ground it. If you grind it, then you're going to be able to absorb those nutrients. If you don't grind it, it's just gonna pass right through your body and not affect your body at all. And so I like to grind it to put it in things. Now, flaxseed also works as a binder, and chia seeds. Both of them work as a binder to help carry toxins out of the body, but also to hold your food together. And so for our crust, I'm gonna be adding some chia seeds and some flax seeds to help hold it all together. So far we have 1 cup. I need 2 cups, and so I'm going to put in about 1/4 of a cup of flax and 1/4 of a cup of chia. You can see I don't really like to measure. I am using a measuring cup here. And my chia seeds. If you can find a place to buy all of your nuts and seeds in bulk, you're gonna get a much better deal. We have a Sprouts that's about an hour away, but we do go, luckily, my husband is able to get to Atlanta to get to Sprouts and buy nuts and seeds for us. So try to buy them in bulk when you can. So I have my ground flax, my chia seeds are not ground, my cup of walnuts, and my half a cup of soaked dates. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix up some other nuts and seeds. So hemp seeds we know are very high in omega-3s. Pumpkin seeds also help with your balance. Cashews give us a really creamy texture. They're wonderful in different things, but they're not high in omega-3s. And I thought I had coconut. I forgot to bring my coconut out. Let me grab it. Coconut gets a really bad rap. These are unsweetened coconut chips. My ingredients are unsweetened coconut chips. That's it. So it's just coconut. I don't want any sugar added. They're just dried coconut. So coconut gets a bad rap because it's high in saturated fat. People say, oh, I can't have saturated fat because of my heart. But coconut also has something in it that helps prevent inflammation. So if you're not eating the right balance of omega-3s to 6s to prevent inflammation in your body, coconut can actually help with that. So I only need a half a cup to finish my 2 cups of nuts and seeds. So I'm just gonna mix and match these. I'll leave the cashews out for today, even though they do give me the nice feel, because I feel like I have enough with the pumpkin seeds. You could even use some pecans. Pecans are not as high in omega-3s as walnuts, but they can also give us a really good mouthfeel as well. I just want to show you the different options. Now we do like to soak nuts and seeds. Soaking chia seeds and flax seeds is just going to create a gel. That's not really going to do much for you. So you don't really worry about soaking them. Cashews, you definitely want to soak. They are very frequently high in parasites. Ugh. And so you want to make sure you get them clean. I buy them raw. Pecans, these are harder to soak because these are already chopped. But pecans you may want to soak. And I didn't leave any room for my coconut today, but I could have put coconut in there too. So you want 2 cups of nuts and seeds and a half a cup of dates. Move those out of my way. And I'm just gonna pulse these until it forms a nice crust. Now my dates are pitted as well. Scrape down the edges and pulse a little bit more. You can see it's kind of holding together. If I squeeze it together, it's holding together, which is what I want when I press it into the pan. Put everything in the way where you won't be able to see me. Now I'm just going to scrape this into my tart pan. You could add some vanilla to that if you want to. Any type of extract, if you have some sort of flavoring extract, if you want to flavor your crust, you could. Now we're making a lime tart, and so you want to be careful with what flavors you add. You don't want to put something weird into your lime tart. Now, something that I could have done, maybe I even have it behind me. Take a piece of your scrap parchment paper and use it to press your crust into your pan. So you can see I already have some stuck to my hand. But a lot of times what will happen is as I'm pressing into the pan, it's sticking to me, and when I pick my hand back up, the crust comes with my hand, and that's puts holes in my crust, so I don't want that. So just use your scrap of parchment paper. Work your way around. You could even use something like the bottom. This has water in it, so I'm gonna be careful. But you could even use something like this, or even better would be this, to work your way to the edges. This crust is really thick. I don't want it to be too thick. I want it to cover the entire pan and work its way slightly up the sides to give me a pretty presentation. This is gonna be so delicious. So our ingredients are 2 cups of nuts and seeds and a half a cup of dates that have been drained, that were soaked and drained. So that's all that we're using to make our crust. Okay, so here is our crust. Beautiful. Next, we're going to put our lime mousse inside. Very excited about that. This lime mousse was 2 avocados, 3 limes, and a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. The limes help the avocado keep from turning brown, as well as give it the delicious flavor. But you could also use a chocolate mousse. I do have a video for a vegan chocolate mousse. That is just avocados, cocoa, and maple syrup. Super simple. Don't even have to bake. Perfect for when it's hot outside. All right, let me see if I can spread it around gently. Perfect for a tartlet. Tartlet. Or a Mother's Day, or a birthday, or a summer party, or a tea party. And get a better knife for spreading. I love a little offset spatula for things like this. Smooth the top. Yum, yum, yum. I can't wait to eat this. All right, and then we can decorate it with some lime slices or some candied lime. These were some I sliced for a video. Would have been easier to slice. Let's see what I'm doing. Would have been easier to slice if I had sliced it before I cut it in half. So maybe I won't do that. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna cut myself. There we go. Usually want a couple of them. You can do some candied lime slices too. There we go, our beautiful lime mousse tart. I hope you make this video. Make sure you like and share and comment and let me know what you like and what else you would like to see. Let me know how your recipe goes and what mousse you choose to put in your crust. It's gonna be delicious. Enjoy.